I thought I was going to definitely start with a rooster. I don't think I'll be starting with any of them. I'm happy to just to sit and watch the first few weeks. The other side of this is too that they've all got attacking upside. There's a lot of positives to them, but if the Roosters start slow, which they tend to, you might not going to want any of them.
Exactly right. And they had a gun trial on the weekend. So it
just sounds like the roof's about to cave in, so we're just a little bit nervous.
We've got the apocalypse is just dropping outside, and it sort of caught Guru's attention. He's waiting for the roof to cave in on us.
You two can hear that though, right?
Yeah, no,
good.
This is going to be a good test of the CBA Centre of Excellence.
Will it ever?
Does the roof hold up?
Yeah, this is a few repeat sets in a row, so we'll see how we go.
You back with us, mate, or
what's that?
You back with us?
Yeah, I'm very nervous now.
I think I caught a little bit of Guru just like drifting off and staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, good go. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Fantastic. All right, let's continue before I get drowned. Cam Murray, 639K. Any interest here? The number one fucking fan club member of the Cam Murray club. You like him more than his missus does. Talk to me.
He was in my team for a lot of the preseason, and I wanted him so bad. We didn't actually touch on the structure of our 2RF at the start of the positions,
Correct.
but there are so many great mid-range buys around that 4 to 450k mark that I just can't justify squeezing him in. I think the best value position by a mile is 2RF this year.
Yeah.
And some of the best buys there. If I could start with 15 of them, I probably will, because I think that's where the value is and some points going upside. And as a result, unfortunately, I can't get Cam Murray in. But, I'll be honest, I think he starts underpriced. 68 minutes per game last season, 50 base in that time. I think he'll get a heap more attack this season. He was rock solid anyway. Even in reduced game time, he averaged 69 back in 59 minutes in 2019. Going back a while now, but Cam Murray's such a good footballer. Anyway, I've had my spiel and I can't fit him in.
What's your strategy? What are you thinking with front row forward? And I think the only other thing to add before we do get into it is that when we've been doing these positions the last few weeks, we didn't have trials to go off. Now we do. We've seen a little bit. We've probably got a general better idea of the direction we're actually going to go. So chat might be a little bit more concise today, I guess you could say, Timbo.
Yeah, I think around the front row we will. We'll touch on anything required, but obviously doing the 2RF second row deep dive as well, and there's a ton to get through there. So
absolute ton, yeah. Strategy-wise, talk to me.
Really fascinating position, which I don't often say about front row, but the strategy around the round one team is fascinating because I think we're both pretty similar in that we're never keen to pay it for front row. I've never done it.
Yep.
I don't feel like I've ever been hurt by it. This year won't be different. I haven't even tinkered with the idea of Tino or Payne Haas or AFB, etc. in my team to start the season. That won't be changing. I'm actually considering going the complete opposite. Sammy Hughes is one that's emerged that we sort of knew that he was going to be a decent front row forward option to plug inside to start the year and hopefully earn a bit of cash at the doggies. But looked really good in the trial on the weekend. The more that's come out from there is just big raps. I'm genuinely starting to think maybe I can plug Sammy Hughes as a starter for that first 4 to 5 weeks before I can make a move. And if he can just get me, honestly, it doesn't have to be much. If he can knock me up 40 to 45 points each week, paired with, say, maybe a mid-range front row that we'll get to shortly, I'm looking at doing that. There is risk in it because if it doesn't eventuate and you've got, say, a mid-ranger and 3 cheapies and none of the 3 cheapies are doing any good and you're forced to play one, really hard work finding sort of cash to get them to a decent player. But it's a risk that I'm leaning towards taking.
Yep, I'm leaning towards the same direction. I think cheap is the way to go. We are notoriously guys that don't have Payne Haas, and I don't. At no point ever do I remember it hurting me. I see a lot of people on social saying, "Oh, it hurts you too much not to have him." I give you the hot tip: it fucking doesn't.
No.
It's great that he averages 70. That's great. But if I can save 500k and spend that in a position that can get me 150s, I'll happily take Sam Hughes' 45.
That's it, man. Just about every Supercoach side out there structures this season. Look, it's not different to any other season, but everyone is stacked in fullback, halfback, potentially 5'8" if they're paying up for, say, Dylan Brown, and then maybe hooker if you're going a Harry Grant or to a lesser degree, Jeremy Marshall-King. You know, they're all big money positions. So you've got to cut somewhere.
100%. And I think front row forward is the spot to do it.
Yeah.
I've got a very same opinion when it comes to draft as well. I actually drafted Sam Hughes as my 18th pick because I'm just happy to have him as a starting front row forward there. So, I think that'll be both of our strategies. Kat, what are you thinking as far as front row forward? One of the trickier positions to sort of work out.
I actually have Hughes as well.
Yep.
He's currently on my bench as a front rower. And then I'm looking at the likes of May and Leniu from Roosters. And I wouldn't say big money either because I don't have the money to spend on those guys either, your Tarpanis and AFBs and whatnot. But I do have Ruben Cotter in there at the moment as well.